Hello, I'm Scott Brady with Overland Journal and Expedition Portal, and I am here in beautiful Utah with the 2022 Nissan Frontier. Now, this is a very important model for the Overland market because the Frontier and the hard body before it has been long-standing models within the community and used around the world also as a Navara. Now, we all know the Nissan Patrol, which is legendary for its durability, and that has extended in many ways to the Frontier. In fact, for the past several years, the Frontier has been the most reliable midsize pickup available in North America. I would consider it more evolutionary than revolutionary. So now let's dig deep into the attributes of this truck for overland travel.
And now we're back in the Overland Journal studios, where we're going to talk in detail about the things that I found worked great about the Frontier and maybe didn't work so great as well. Most important, this is a nearly all new vehicle. Essentially only the frame remains from the previous model. The engine is a best-in-class 310 horsepower V6 paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission. This drivetrain is both powerful and refined when compared to the other V6 engines in the segment, greatly benefiting from the 5.4 to 1 first gear, 281 foot-pounds of torque at just over 4,000 RPMs. The interior of the Frontier is also an entirely different experience, with the lowest NVH, that means noise, vibration, and harshness, of any mid-size truck we've tested. This is partly due to the hydraulic cab mounts and the increased sound insulation. The materials are better overall. The center of the dash is dedicated to the 9-inch multimedia display and the automatic climate control system. The center console now also has 2 large grab handles, which I think are a nice touch, and a robust shifter with available manual shifting mode. There's also a convenient charging pad for phones and available Apple CarPlay. And the reason why CarPlay is now a more compelling and interesting option is that we can integrate a lot of our mapping tools with that, like Gaia, OnX, etc. So how does this PRO-4X perform off-road? It has 32-inch tires, 17-inch wheels. It has a rear locking differential. It has traction control that works in both 2-wheel drive and in 4-wheel drive, and also assists the front axle when the rear differential is locked. Primary skid plate on the front that protects the radiator and transitions to the lower control arms. It has an engine skid plate that protects part of the transmission as well, and then it also has a fuel tank skid plate. What I found most notable was the tuning on the Bilstein shocks. These are high-quality shock absorbers. Nissan has done an excellent job of tuning for conditions of off-road and even on-road driving. With that 272 to 1 low range, the Frontier manages an impressive 54 to 1 crawl ratio. The vehicle also utilizes off-road tuned traction control, hill descent control, and hill start assist. Throughout the test course, the improvements in capability was evident, showcasing a level of tuning and refinement not seen before on Frontier. Traction control is one of the best in the segment. In fact, the only way that you know that it's working is traction control light flashes on the dash. So really good job by Nissan in that regard. The transparent operation also extends to hill start assist, which works great and as advertised, and also hill descent control. It is one of the most smooth and quiet operating hill descent controls I've ever tested, but it is limited in the ability to manage the speed of the hill descent control. So most systems allow you to manage the speed of the hill descent control with either the cruise up and down button or by using the manual shifting mode in the transmission. But the hill descent control on the Frontier is set to 1 speed. Now that is less of an issue because of the 54 to 1 low range, which really makes hill descent control almost redundant. So is this a good vehicle for overland travel? In many ways, I would say yes. When we think about durability, Nissan is legendary for the durability of their products. We are also looking for reliability in the backcountry, which means that the vehicle is going to start every time we turn the key or push a button in this case. And Nissan has one of the highest reliability ratings in the segment. For many years running, it was the most reliable vehicle in the segment. Now, this is a new model, so we don't really have good data on it, but the previous generation was number 1 for many years in a row. So we would expect Nissan to continue with that reliability. Now let's go through the pros and cons on the vehicle. The pros, Without a doubt, this is the most capable and refined Frontier we have seen to date. I really like the 54-to-1 crawl ratio. That engine and transmission combination with that low gearing is excellent for controllability and effectiveness off-road. I also feel that they have done a very good job of tuning this suspension for off-road travel. In fact, that may make it not even an incentive to improve the suspension with the aftermarket because they've done such a good job. On the cons, it really comes down to that payload. You have a less than 1,100 pound, just over 1,000 pound payload in the PRO-4X, which really makes it insufficient for most camper fitments. Rear locker switch placement just doesn't work in the field. Fortunately, that is a very easy thing to fix, and it's very likely that Nissan will address that before it even comes to market. And the other thing that you do notice is that there is less suspension travel and less articulation than the competitors in the space. You really notice that hard topping, it just doesn't have a lot of extension travel or a lot of compression travel. So that is something to be mindful if you drive faster off pavement. If you drive slowly, it's so well tuned that I don't think you'll even notice it. Overall, this 2022 Nissan Frontier is a durable, reliable, good-looking, and extremely capable option in the midsize truck segment. Good job, Nissan.